Hey guys, what's going on? Um, I I guess Twitter Space is gonna just be kind of quiet tonight. All right, so we do have some stuff to talk about, and my daughter's gonna be going crazy in the back, so I do apologize if you guys can hear her. So first things first. If you guys haven't checked out anything I've been saying about the whole thing going on with China and Russia, I hope you guys are starting to pay attention more. They are just kind of going crazy at this point with the whole, with Taiwan, and Russia actually did clear the deal with India to go around the USD for oil. So we're starting to see countries just, they're, in layman's terms, USD is the main dollar that is used to purchase oil from other countries. This was a deal made decades ago, but now we are seeing these negotiations start shifting, and they are no longer using USD to actually purchase oil, which, our dollar is not backed by gold anymore. So in a sense, it was backed by petro, but with them no longer using the USD to purchase oil from other countries, from India, from any of these other OPEC nations, this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a very big problem. So now you have, Russia going around the whole ordeal, and we're just going to start seeing the inflation come through. And now that we have new inflation numbers coming in, that's something I wanted to pull up for this tonight. Since we haven't actually been live, like Monday we did something kind of fun, and we just hung out on Twitter Space, did something there, and just had an open discussion where people didn't have to be recorded and they could just kind of talk, and it was actually a really good conversation. I will kind of briefly touch on what I said there, just so we can have it down if people want to hear it or anything like that. If you don't want to hear it, that's okay too. But I was looking into the inflation numbers, and I will post this link in chat if you guys are interested in checking this out, if you haven't seen it. So the CPI breakdown, the summary, we have, and again, take a lot of this with a grain of salt. Take a lot of this with a very, very large grain of salt. Hey, Bliss. There will definitely be a clash between three superpowers. 100%. 100%. And, this is where I keep saying, like, I do need to kind of write up the second fall from grace piece. We're starting to see it, and it's quite sad. But it's funny enough that they released this. The news release was reissued on December 10th, which was my birthday, correcting the following sentence: these all items index rose 6.8% for this 12 months ending November, the largest 12-month increase since the period ending in June of 1982. Original sentence referred to October instead of November. But I'm seeing reports between 6.8 and 7.2% increase inflation, which is huge. This is like a just punch to the gut, right? And so here, what's what I'm gonna do for you guys, everyone on YouTube, since no one's on Twitter Spaces. Happy birthday! Thank you, Bliss. Thank you. It was a good birthday. We went to Longhorn, and I guess I haven't been live since my birthday, have I? I am sorry, guys. I am so sorry. It's been a very long week. Yes, it was a very good birthday. We had a Longhorn and cake, and it was delicious. And I got a couple cool presents, so it was a good day. A very good day. All right. So here we go. Try to navigate this over here. You guys don't need to see that. No one cares about the dashboard for YouTube. No one cares. All right. So now I'll try to make this bigger in case you guys can't see it. So again, take these with a grain of salt. They never use the same factors when they're calculating all this stuff. So just take it with a grain of salt. That's all I ask. But we can see here, all items, seasonal adjusted changes from preceding month. We have from May, we have 0.6, 0.9, 0.5, 0.3, 0.4, 0.9, 0.8. So we have a 6.8 unadjusted 12-month. How old are you now? 23. Reverse it. 32. Yes, I am 32. I'm very happy to be 32 years old. Let's see. So we have food items at 6.1, 6.4. Energy. This is insane. So unadjusted 12-month ended. So we have a 33.3%. Energy commodities, so this is just disgusting. All items less food energy, we have a 4.9. New vehicles 11.1, used cars 31.4. So yeah, this is it's just kind of insane, right? And this is where I keep saying, and this is something else I read. So the food at the index rose 6.4% over the past 12 months, the largest 12-month increase since the period ending in December of 2008. So this is something I'm starting to notice, is that whenever they're doing these comparisons now, we're starting to see things that are representing 1970s, 1980s, 2008. We actually had something I read somewhere, something that referred to 1929. So I'm going, so we're not looking too great. And if history repeats itself, as we know, this is just kind of insane. And so we also have this, not that ad. So China is starting to back Russia. So they're becoming buddies again. Hey, Eric. So with China and Russia becoming buddies, which does not fare well for anyone in the Western Hemisphere at all. Okay, so if you haven't been following, Russia is basically allowing China to kind of impede on Taiwan, all right? And this is why this is a problem. So Taiwan, if anybody doesn't know, If you've been listening to my channel forever, then you do know that, the chip shortage, sorry, my words are gone today. Anyway, microchip shortages that are happening, that are causing all of the price increases for the cars, why we have trucks every, like Toyota. Man, I am having a day. It's been a day, guys. Toyota and Ford and whatnots, they're having all these trucks and everything just kind of sitting on their lots. So they aren't able to move them because they can't pass inspections because they don't have these chips. And so it's kind of a dire situation at this point. Machinery that we use at factories, our regular household items that we use on a daily basis, all of these different items are just kind of put on hold, right? And it is just, it's going to cause a lot of problems because, you figure farming equipment, they need microchips, they need the, what is that damn word I am looking for? And I know Skin's sitting over here laughing at me at this point because he's like, duh, kind of, hello. Yeah, my brain's shot. Anyway, China is moving in on Taiwan. Yes, we pray for Taiwan, guys. Pray for them because this is their livelihood. Literally going to be their livelihood. We have German ships going over there. We have, the U.S. And then we actually have this interesting thing where I believe it was the UK, us, and another country boycotting the Olympics in China. So it's that's kind of an interesting situation. So let me see if I can actually pull that up. Let's see, China Olympic boycott. There it is. Was it Canada? Hey, million. But yeah, so this is kind of huge. So if you guys haven't actually been following this either, I believe Russia will go after. Go away. Believe Russia will go after Ukraine at the same time China attacks Taiwan, and then yeah, exactly, and that's. If anybody tells me we're not in some kind of weird Cold War, beginning of World War III, I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy, because and this is, so I actually had, this is fascinating today. I had one of many interviews for this one job that I'm trying to get, and the doctor asked me, why I was looking for a regular job that doesn't talk about finance and do all this stuff. And I was like, well, it gets kind of hard to talk about the bad stuff, the everyday, how the world's doing, because right now the world is not in a good place. I was like, so basically I need happiness. I need to see people heal and everything. So, because it is a holistic functional medicine office. So I was kind of like, I just need happiness, because right now, guys, the world is scary, right? Just want to stop by, say hi. See you, Pam. Thanks for coming in. Thank you all, that guys. Anyway, but yeah, so this is U.S., Australia, Britain have boycotted the Winter Olympics, and why this is huge. Like, China has already said that if the U.S. alone boycotted the Olympics, basically there would be hell to pay. And so now it's not just us. It is 2 other countries. And there might be more. There might be more that follow suit. This is not good. This is not good. I understand, obviously, stand up to the corruption, stand up to all the bullshit. I get this. I do. But I'm me, guys. I look at both sides. I have to look at both sides on everything, because otherwise you don't get the full picture, right? And so if we're looking at this as not some power hungry bullshit that, whatever. You look at the people that are participating in the Olympics, these people that may or may not age out. They might be too old. They might not, this is their one and only chance, right? What about those people that, if you're boycotting the Olympics and this is their one and only shot to go to the Olympics and you just said, nope, screw you, sorry. Yeah, it'd be pretty shitty. Like, the filter's off tonight with this because I would be so pissed if, I'm some track star, right? And I, you're at your peak prime age, you've hit all the milestones, you've competed and you've done all this other stuff and you're there, right? You're absolutely there to go compete and on the world stage, to represent your country, and your country's leaders like, nope, sorry. Like, I understand that maybe they're, maybe find a neutral ground, maybe find a I understand that it takes a whole shit ton of money and a whole lot of effort to plan the Olympics. I do, obviously. But at the same time, did no one think about this? No, you're fine, Bliss. You're fine. People call me Jenna all the time. It's a thing, apparently. So I just don't pay any attention to it. But no, if you think about it, you had COVID-19 come out of China. Yeah, did everybody kind of forget that? Like, so why is this still a thing? Like, why are we not having it somewhere else anyway? If China was ground zero for COVID, why wasn't it rescheduled to a totally different area? Why not put it in like Africa? Why not put it in, South America, anywhere, Brazil? There's a million other people. So anyway, this isn't just a pissing contest between global leaders. Like, this is bullshit on a more, main stage level of the athletes. Like, that's who I'm considering in this little tug of war of power. Like, oh, well, I'm going to take my ball and go home. My athletes aren't going to come compete in your Olympics. Like, whatever. The more, like, this week, like, I've taken some time off, obviously. Like, like I said, we had Monday, we had an open discussion, which I think went really well. We got a lot of great discussion on Monday, just people not being recorded and being able to speak freely, which, is how it should be. Twitter, I know you're listening. You need to let Citadel have his Twitter page back. Citadel Air, not Citadel Security. You can take Citadel Security's Twitter page away because they don't use it anyway. After just kind of being away for this week, it is kind of making me not want. I don't censor anyway for the most part, minus language maybe, or until I've thoroughly thought out everything that I need to say. But I'm finding that we really do need to just keep having deep conversations, and there's no room for errors at this point because our government is not doing what it needs to do. Like, they just keep kicking cans, and we need to start holding them responsible for it. The fact that I was watching this, I think it was a representative from Texas, and he was just calling all the shit out. I will put the link in the description, so you guys can see that. But it's like an hour long. Like, he had a 45-minute to an hour long rant about how his peers were just screwing the country up because they just kept printing money. And I was like, well, somebody in government, it gets it. Somebody out there gets it. And I have to applaud him. Like I said, I'll have to find it again. But hey, Gringle. The fact that they just feel like they can. They pass bills. We don't have money. Our country is broke. Like, think of it this way. Okay, so we're what, 28 trillion, 29 trillion, so roughly somewhere in there in debt. Okay, we'll take that as down. That's a big number. That's a lot of numbers, right? So let's say Hallister. I owe Hallister money. Okay, Hallister, I owe you $3,000. I don't know. It's an easy number. People can grasp what $3,000 is. No one can grasp what $29 trillion means. So I owe you $3,000. But, I'm going to go to my Monopoly game and I'm going to pull out another 10K and I'm going to go spend that somehow. I'm going to go give that to Retha and say, hey, I want to get services from you or whatever. And then Retha turns around and she now has that money and she gives that to somebody else. Well, okay, so now we're really screwed because now you're playing with Monopoly money all around the world, right? They are literally just printing money. Our dollar is going to be Monopoly money here very, very soon. And if people are no longer if they're not using USD to buy crude, buy oil, the inflation that we've exported, we've talked about this quite a bit, but the inflation that we've exported for 60 years is going to come back and bite us in the ass. These other countries are like, okay, we're getting screwed over here by the US, and they're just now wisening up to it. I mean, hey, good job, guys. You're figuring it out. But at the same time, oh, dear God, we're complaining about, oh, hey, milk's up $1, gas is up $2 or whatever it is. Yeah, it's, here in Florida, I will not be surprised if we see $5 gas. Like, I don't want to see $5. I haven't paid $5 for a gallon of gas since Hawaii. And even then, Costco still had it for like $2.53. So just keep paying attention, and we just need to keep calling it out. And we need to figure out, there's something in our Constitution that literally allows us to basically say goodbye to a tyrannical government. That's the great thing about our nation is our Constitution. Contrary to what people believe. Oh, are you going to bed? Are you okay? Oh.
I was going to change this. Put it on that way.
Okay. But it's kind of the cool thing, our founding documents, whoever had the foresight, our founding fathers who had the foresight to say, hey, people suck. People get greedy. People become very just unruly, and they are power hungry. They created our documents that said, do not let this happen. The fact that, if you want to go tinfoil, they stopped teaching kids how to read cursive. Well, they can't read the founding fathers' actual words. Like, they just kind of have to rely on digital representation of it, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, okay, tinfoil hat off. That's not actually why they stopped teaching cursive. I don't know why they did it, but it's kind of crazy though, right? You have an entire generation that doesn't know how to read cursive, and so they can't actually physically go and look at the Constitution and read it. Can you imagine that? Could you imagine not being able to read our actual documents of our country? Insane. You have a Constitution that it was bought by Mayo Man. You know what? Bullshit. That one copy that he owns. Anyway. But yes. So this is something that we need to, as a country, as the 99%, as, the little guys, we have to start stepping up and just taking the control back and saying, look, enough is enough. And that's why that's my hashtag. That is literally all I've been doing is enough is enough. The government is not there to babysit us. That is not what the government is for. It is to ensure, we are not overpowered, They are not there to create rules and laws and everything to protect us from ourselves. That is literally all that laws do, is to protect you from yourself. And we shouldn't need that. Grow up, put on your big girl, big boy pants, and literally be an adult, be a human, and be responsible. But at the same time, we need to be preaching this to our Congress, to our government, to the global leaders. What are you doing? I am so infuriated because you have Nancy Pelosi being like, no, no, no. We should be able to trade. Congress should be able to trade. Spouses, family members, who cares? They should be able to trade. Are you serious? Are you serious on this? Because this is why I'm calling her out. Pelosi needs to be done. That's why I love that. You know, I hit every trigger today. I was so irritated. Because it's like I saw, you know, Lady Lovestock's got taken down for 12 hours. And, well, we know Citadel Air is still down, right? One for shit posting, the other one parody shit posting. Still funny. But here it is. You know, I can sit here. Twitter doesn't do anything to mine, so I must be telling the truth about something, right? If mine's still here, am I not violating terms? Because I'm going against their narrative here. You know, I have Ken Griffin lied, Ken Griffin to jail. The government is rigged. Censorship is real. We are a free nation. Hi, welcome to America. First Amendment rights, term limits, Pelosi to jail, and inflation isn't transitory. Like, this is... I am so done with the bullshit that is... I mean, it's broadcasted. Like, this is what cracks me up. And oh my God, all of them. We need term limits. We got to figure out how to make it to where they do have term limits. They're not going to vote on it. We know this. Yeah. They're not going to vote on term limits for themselves. That's just not a thing. There has to be a way. Petitions, something. But I'm sorry. I mean, there are cognitive tests to have a driver's license when you reach a certain age. Don't you think we should have cognitive tests to run our country, to have access to military equipment and military, like, being able to say, hey, go to war? Like, I would figure that you would need these cognitive tests to do that. But at the same time, good night. My mother is listening to my small rant here. But at the same time, like, they have been in office for so long. Clearly something is not right. They're not doing something right if our country keeps cycling itself. Yeah, every 10 to 15 years we have these cycles, plus the 100-year cycle, 80 to 100-year cycle. Something's not right. I mean, it's the true definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing, the exact same way, and expecting a different result. Anybody else see any problems with this? So, I don't know. I believe the corruption, you know, the corruption is so deep. Because you have, anyone want to see the new Spider-Man? I did not go see the Spider movie. I did not go see Spider-Man. But no, you figure, okay, so the people that fund the politicians, right? It's the hedge funds. Our dear sweet Ken Griffin funded Biden, funded Trump, funded, God help me, DeSantis, which is terrible because I actually enjoy my governor. But who knows? I haven't quite figured that one out yet. But I mean, he is in the pockets to almost all politicians. And why in the hell would they go against somebody that gave them that much money? Everybody has a price. Everyone has a price point where you give them enough, they'll do exactly what you want. They'll turn a blind eye. They'll do stupid shit. And so we've been at this for a year, right? Some a little bit over a year, some of us coming up on a year. Been at this for around a year. And we've had some bullshit come out of the SEC. The DTCC has said some things and done a few things. And the government's still over here doing God knows what and avoiding the entire damn thing. You have an entire world calling out what's going on in the U.S. economy. An entire world calling it out on Twitter, on social, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Reddit, all of these different platforms saying, hey, we want a free market. We want a fair chance. We need this. And it falls on deaf ears. No, they'd rather figure out how to not raise the debt ceiling. Like, hello? I don't know. Anyway, anyone in Twitter space, if you guys want to hop up here and shut me up at any time, request and I'll bring you up, just so you know. I will stop rambling. But anyway, on a lighter note, got to see Hallister, which was fun. We went and literally had wings and whatnot, so it was a good day. I did learn that I'm sorry if you live in Naples. For what I'm about to say, if anybody that's listening lives in Naples, I'm sorry, but it is scary to drive down there. It is a terrifying place to drive, and gorgeous. It is very beautiful, but I will stick to Tampa Bay. It's a little more chill up here. But no, it was good. It was a lot of fun to actually finally get to see another one of my teammates. And hopefully we get to do it next month too. So, oh, there he is. And yes, guys, I will tell you, he sounds exactly the same in person that he does on all of this, just so you know. It's very weird. Hey, Alistair.
What's weird about that?
I mean, sometimes, like, you get people in person or whatever, and they don't sound the same, but like whenever I had my back turned to you and I was doing something with them, I was like, oh my God, he's like in surround sound.
Oh man, it's funny. Well, so when she says it's scary driving down there, it's probably not for the reason y'all think. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. There's one main highway that goes through like the whole place, and everybody drives. It's like 3 lanes on each side. Everybody drives exactly the same speed. Except because they're all just it's snowbird season, which is definitely a Florida thing. But you've got you have like the 1 or 2 people that are just like aggressive maniacs, like weaving in and out of everything, but the rest of them are just like basically old or they can't get around all the old people, and so it's just weird.
It is very weird, but it was fun. It was an experience.
For sure.
I got out of town for a little bit, but it was nice to be home. And I'm glad to hear that. I'm guessing you are home now.
Yeah, no, I just got back. Yeah, no, I was a little late to the pod tonight, but yeah, I am
okay.
back home.
That's okay. Back in the cold state. So have you heard or seen anything about the whole China-Russia thing, or would you like to touch on any of the inflation stuff that you found earlier this week, since we didn't record any of that? Or any of your thoughts about it?
I mean, the China-Russia stuff, I mean, I've just seen some of the same things I've seen you posting, right, about like just positioning of ships and stuff like, China trying to take state claim to the South China Sea, and I guess Germany putting some vessels down there. And I don't know, I know you were talking about the Olympics earlier. I mean, the inflation stuff, it's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I can say I had a feeling this week that because I remember on Monday, which I wasn't quite right, but I wasn't quite wrong either. I was wondering, I was like, okay, like, is this the priced in moment, right? Because we saw the market just kind of tank on Monday. I had a JPOW speaking on Wednesday, and I just kind of had a feeling that there was going to be a positive reaction to whatever he said. And, Wednesday, like, some of my favorites were just getting hammered early morning, to the point where, like, I'm sitting in this training, like, we're on break, and I had to announce it to the group. I'm like, well, just bought another 100 shares of this and a few contracts. Like, let's go. Like, market is being ridiculous right now. And then 2:00 comes around, and you just see a BGD on pretty much everything.
Yeah. I mean, this week's just been kind of brutal, period. when it comes to most things, like crypto. I mean, crypto's been doing okay, I guess, but I don't know. I mean, it's a holiday. I mean, usually the stocks are kind of trying to reset, aren't they?
Well, yeah, I mean Q4's. I mean, yeah, I mean, coming in the holiday. I mean, you definitely usually have a lot less volume. Um, I mean, you still have. I know, Citadel Air brought it up a few weeks ago, but I mean, potentially tax loss harvesting, and things like that. I mean, people selling off to make sure that they realize their losses, to the extent they can to, avoid taxes at the end of the year. Um, a lot of rebalancing for the quarter. I mean, tomorrow's options expiration again. Like tomorrow are all the monthlies, and so you typically see a lot of manipulation around that time. Because we can't let certain contracts land in the money.
Oh God, no, 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 no. I mean, AMC, GME, no, those aren't allowed. Um, Mind your crypto losses. What, Darb? Dang, I'm late again. Hey, Trek Nerd. I mean, not that late. We're only 38 minutes in. It's okay. I mean, really, you just missed my entire, like, rant and pent-up pissed offness about how the world is. So, I mean, you're not that late. I will say, I had an interesting experience today. So, I was going to fill you guys in. So, I've never had this happen. So, maybe someone can clue me into it. I had to take an IQ test for my job today. I found that interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Okay, so I'm not off on this. Like, it was like 30 minutes, 80 questions, and high dyslexia at 4:30 in the afternoon when you've been awake for a while was not fun. I think I got like 70 or so, 75 of the questions answered. So, but this was like interview number 3, 4. I'm kind of losing track. And I have another one on Monday with another assessment type thing.
I'm wondering what kind of company this is.
Well, it's the
function. When I'm trying to hire people, right? Like we have a little informal chat,
mm-hmm.
and then we have an interview, and we pretty much know after the informal chat whether we're trying to hire the person or not.
Well, like, and that's what I would figure too, but I'm confused. But I don't know. It's a nice office, and the people seem nice. Like, I'm just confused because I've never gone through an interview like this. I mean, I know I haven't interviewed for a job in.
Also, do you get the results, or do they just take them and say,
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be like one of those judgy things. Like, they're gonna just judge me now, and I don't know how to feel. Like, I mean, it was simple.
Well, what was it like? I mean, was it like an internet IQ test or what?
No, it was like a bubble test, like pencil, paper, like old Scantron type. But
But what is it like? Is it like, does it show you different shapes and it's like guess the pattern? Or
it was a basic IQ, like find the pattern, or make sure you read this correctly and find the last letter of whatever word, and yeah, it was like a basic IQ test. IQ of 69, 420. God, that'd be nice. So yeah, I don't know. Like, it was, and I ran it past Citadel, and I was like, him being a doctor, I was like, have you ever done this to one of your hirees? And he was like, no. I was like, okay, I don't know. I was
How much
just
research have you done on this company? No, I'm just kidding.
I've tried doing the DD on it. I mean, there's 2 offices. I mean, like I said, they're very nice people. I don't know. But no, it's the same one. Okay, so guys, Be kind. Be kind. But when I say this, but everyone knows Citadel's joke with Karen from HR. Yeah. Everyone, can I get hundreds in Twitter space or anything in chat if everyone remembers? Yeah, Hallister, obviously. So, funny enough, funny enough, one of my points of contact for this position, her name is Karen, but she was very sweet. She was a very sweet woman. And I had to, man, I was like, I got the voicemail, and you can, how like iPhone, I don't know if Android does it, but iPhone has like where you can read the text or whatever before you listen to it. And I saw this is Karen from blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh no. Oh, like someone has to be trolling me at this point. Like I really, like I'm so paranoid with all of you guys at this point with my team. I really felt like someone was trolling me. And so, no, she's a very sweet person. And so, I asked Tyler, I was like, how do I get through this? How do I get through this with Citadel being in my ear that Karen from HR doesn't like me? She doesn't want to pay me, blah, blah, blah. So eventually I'm going to let her in on this. So if, I start working there, I'll let her in on the little funny. But, oh yeah, I was, and then whenever I had I told Citadel, I was like, I hate you for everything you are right now because this is a situation I am dealing with. And I sent him the screenshot of the voicemail because it said Karen. And he was like, no way does that happen. And so he spoke it into existence for me. So there is that. Yeah. And I'm sure Hallister is dying.
Kind of met the real, yeah. You met the real Karen from HR. Yeah, that is hilarious. It's like, yeah, how does that actually happen?
This is the Matrix. This is the proof that the Matrix is real.
Yep. If we didn't have enough, we are definitely in a simulation.
Yeah, 100%. It's a total simulation because I mean, why else? Out of all the names, out of all the jobs I've applied to, all the jobs to call me back or anything like that, this. Whatever. It makes it fun. But like I said,
we have fun. We have fun in our simulation.
Oh yeah, it gets a lot of interesting times, that's for sure. Especially, so I am proud of myself for being so level-headed. Poor Citadel. If he hops in here, he's going to probably laugh. So someone, I wanted to, whoever you are, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody actually bought CitadelAir.eth. Someone bought it to hold on to for Citadel Air. So that King Griffin couldn't get it. And Citadel Air, he messages me and he's like, someone's trying to impersonate me, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, buddy, it's 2:00 in the morning, and 2, he's not trying to impersonate you. Like, look at the actual bio. And he's like, no, I did. I looked at the bio. And I'm like, did you? Go look at it. And I like screenshot it again, and he was like, oh, I'm an asshole. And like, so yeah. Oh
well, so I didn't know. So that did turn out well though, because I randomly opened Twitter like at some point during the day, and I saw that, and I was just like, oh no. But no, so it was like it was good. It was one of the good guys.
Yeah, it's a good guy. It's part of Citadel Air's fan club. Like, he was trying to help him, and Citadel Air did not read, and I was like, I think it's sweet. Like, go read this again. You'll probably change your mind. So it was funny.
It happened.
It happens. It happens to the best of us. But so I'm trying to think. I'm boss is like beating me to the punch on a lot of the global news. Yeah, I don't know how he's doing it with a new baby. Like, he's killing it. So if you haven't
I didn't know that. Congrats to him.
Yeah, she's so precious. Yeah. anyway, but yeah, if you I do recommend you guys, if you haven't gotten to see a lot of the new stuff that he's put out, go check it out because he has been covering a lot of great information, especially with like Evergrande stuff. Speaking of Evergrande, I believe we are going to actually start seeing these effects here very soon from Evergrande. I've been seeing like little trinkets here and there with real estate news coming up from the West Coast. It is, man, give it about 2 or 3 months. Give it about 2 or 3 months on the West Coast, and houses might actually be somewhat, and I'm doing this in quotations, affordable, because of all the defaults and things like that. And so with also BlackRock and all these other evictions and all this stuff going on, the bubble is here, guys. Like I'm able to just kind of firmly say, because I'm also seeing, there are parts of Florida that mimic California. We have Naples, we have Miami, we have like Daytona. These few areas, Orlando is another good one. These areas kind of mimic California in a interesting way. And the fact that I can now see these drastic cuts and houses are on the market still, 3-6 months now. It's gonna be, we're here. Like this is insane to be watching. And the asset-backed mortgages, they're definitely a thing now. Like they're basically taking like, whatever assets you have. So like the 1099 people, back to the Big Short movies where she's a stripper and that she just has these assets and everything. Like she just has money in her bank account. So keep your eye on these things. And what I'm watching right now is the idea of, if we go back to 1929, 1930s, 1940 roughly, those time frames during the Great Depression, it was actually really fascinating because mortgages they'd have interest rates in like double digits easy. So like 17% or anything like that. So to me, there'll be this window, and I hope I'm wrong on so much of this right now. But if it is that way with going back to that time frame, we could see interest rate, like it'll be a fluctuation, housing prices will come down, but banks will also be losing money. So then they're going to have to increase, interest rates because they'll have to make money and high risk and all this other stuff. So, because we know the banks are going to get bailed out. We're coming to terms with that, yeah. And so there's going to be, how I see it, doing all my research, looking at what I'm looking at, there'll be this window, essentially, where housing prices will come down. Interest rates will still be in that 2 to 3% range that we still see right now. But within that, but right after that window, prices will still stay roughly the same, but interest rates will increase. I just have this theory because, you have your cost of living, your, people's, if they're foreclosed on or they're evicted, their liability, their inability to borrow, their risk is a lot higher. And so that way they're going to be regaining that money that they've lost. Like the only way the banks gain money is by us. Let's face it. I think I saw, what was it, 10.5 billion or something in overdraft fees last year. Talk about stealing from the poor. Like, hey, you don't have money in your bank account, let me charge you overdraft fees. Does that make any sense? If somebody doesn't have money in their account and you charge them even more and then you still don't, whatever. Anyway, so it's just kind of something that I think if we are seeing something that either mimics, rhymes, repeats itself or anything from that time frame, because I do keep seeing Just so many similarities between '08 and the Great Depression, and we know the cycles, right? Um, just watch this window. I watch what the banks are doing. This is what I keep saying. Watch the banks, which, JP Morgan, they're kind of struggling. Boston, Houston Wade together was a great watch. World's ending, everyone. What's good is MOS if you can't spend the money. What good is MOS if you can't spend the money? Yeah, right? Strippers. In this case, the stripper is Jim Cramer. 100%, guys. 100%. Yeah, no, I don't know if Johnny Rocket, I don't know if you've seen The Big Short. It's like the stripper in there, and they're like talking to her, and he's like, your interest rates are not, they're not fixed, they can fluctuate and blah, blah, blah. And she has like multiple mortgages on 5 different homes and all this other craziness. Yeah.
So it's like, wait a minute, you have 2 loans on the same property?
I have 5 properties and a condo.
It's so funny because like in my little company event last night, that particular scene came up in the conversation.
Oh, did it?
Awesome.
I wonder
Oh yeah,
why.
yeah. No, we were talking about it. Well, no, I know. I mean, we were. Yeah, I was having a good little chat. I was trying to explain a few things about failure to delivers and brokers and system and how all that fun stuff works.
So did you know all of this before this year, or did you learn all this year?
No, I mean no. To be honest, I mean that's the thing is like I've been, I don't know, I would say adjacent to the system, for a long time, but no, I mean for me, like it did come out of all of this. Now, I mean I've read books, and I mean like he said Dr. Turnbattle, I'll go shill her again, but I mean I think she's really one of the people that knows how this works. There's a long history with it. She's had a long history of fighting it, and I mean her book is really, really good. I mean, Naked, Short, and Greedy, like in terms of explaining how it is. And I mean, it's not, I mean, the sad part about it is that it doesn't, I mean, it's not offering a solution necessarily or anything like that. It's just educational in terms of what's going on. But no, I mean, to your point, that's one of the things that I think is really, going to be impactful and long lasting, and everything. Like we still don't know what's going to happen with this, and I mean I think we're still well positioned, in terms of everything that's going on, but the education that's getting out there in terms of market structure and some of the way that these things work and just everything about it. I mean, I don't, the biggest challenge is taking that information and making it into something, useful and actionable and everything else. But no, I didn't know about a lot of those things until this year, even though like they have been going on for some time. And I mean, there's really good stories out there, or not, I don't know, I call them good, but I mean, there are definitely stories out there of companies that have suffered from this in the past. And I mean, I've seen like a big influx of that stuff the past couple of days, even, I don't know, like in the Reddit, area, like Super Stonk, they were talking about some pharmaceutical companies and things like that. I think there was a comment on one of the SEC regs that was published recently that was pretty interesting. I think it was about Dendreon, and some of Kramer's role in that, and so just some of the things that were said and some of the attacks on that particular company when they had a product that was coming out probably, I don't know, I think it was 10 to 15 years ago at this point. But anyway, sorry, I'm rambling now.
No worries. Ramble away. I don't know. Like, do we actually think Kramer's going to have a job much longer at this by the end of all of this?
I don't know. Well, I mean, the sad part is probably, I mean, it's entertainment. folks. Like it's for entertainment purposes only. And but the thing is I mean he just I think he knows his audience, and I mean his audience are boomers, older boomers, and I mean I think he still resonates with them, and I mean it's scary.
So do I need to start
Like
like
to a
just
certain extent because it's that easy, I
so
guess.
so I need to start shouting and dancing around and everything and just
No, you need a soundboard. We need one, bye bye bye.
oh Lord God
Yeah,
no.
yeah. We just need yeah, need a little soundboard, and then all the. No, that would be the worst.
That would be terrible. It would be no. There are to be no soundboards on Bullhouse's podcast as long as I'm on. Whatever Citadel and Alistair do when I'm away, that's a whole nother story, but no. I did want everyone to know that Curtis is going to be off for the next couple weeks. He's going to spend the holidays with his mom and just kind of hanging out. So I do want you guys to know that you won't be probably seeing him around for a while. But he is good. He is just taking some time. I think Citadel Air is kind of doing the same thing. I've kind of given the team they were like, hey, can we just take time off? I was like, I don't care. Do what you want. I'm apparently a really terrible person at running a company in this sense because I'm just like, yeah, just take time off. I'll do it all. Don't worry. But no, at the same time, it's the holidays. It's Christmas, it's New Year, it's Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, it's whatever you celebrate. So, so if Bullhouse is kind of off schedule for the next couple of weeks, that's why we're all just kind of enjoying our time and not thinking about the inevitable. With that said, the COVID piece that is in the December issue of Bullhouse magazine should be out by Wednesday. I'm going to try to get out by Wednesday of next week. I'm just putting some finishing touches on, and then I have to send it to Citadel Air, and then I have to send it to Hallister so he can proof it. This thing has to go through a lot of people. Just so you guys know. So anybody that is subscribed to the magazine, that will be out probably by Wednesday. If it's out earlier, great. I will make an announcement, but Kramer is getting up there, just saying. When I saw Kramer stating that this is the best economy he's ever seen, I knew we were fucked. Yep. So many potential catalysts that can kick off the world crisis. Russia, China, how Turkey currency lira. What? What about Turkey? I haven't heard anything about Turkey.
No, their currency, yeah, the lira. I mean, the inflation there is insane. I mean, they're having,
Zimbabwe.
yeah. I mean, I mean, not quite Zimbabwe, but I mean, significant, like high, mid double digits percentage inflation. They're struggling.
Speaking of,
but yeah, like with Kramer, I mean, Kathy Woods is saying the same thing. Like she's,
how can
there is no bubble. There's no bubble. This is not a bubble. And I've seen CNBC doing the same thing. So sorry, I'm gonna have to. So, when I'm out of town, I only have my work computer, so I don't take other computers with me. And I mean, I have my phone, and I check Twitter, and I check Reddit, and I do all this other stuff. But I actually, for some reason or another, when I'm out of town, I actually watch CNBC on a little hotel room TV. And man, the shit that they've been going at this week, it's unbelievable. I mean, literally every morning they talk about AMC and GME. And they're talking about they're saying, oh, the meme stocks are dying and blah, blah, blah. And that there's a lot of selling and, maybe it's time for people to take their profits because they're just, assuming that everybody's been in the whole time and, there's been this big run and they put up those stats. But I don't watch Kramer because I don't typically get off work quite in time for that. But I mean, I don't know. Just the shit that I've seen on CNBC this week is insane. But they're touting the same stuff. I mean, they're saying, well, it's no, this isn't a bubble. Or they're saying that they're trying to argue the point that there isn't a bubble because you're seeing certain asset prices declining, like GME, like AMC, and they use like Peloton and Zoom and like all these other things that were just like they take these ridiculously overvalued stocks, which I'm not counting AMC and GME in that, by the way, but I'm just saying like a lot of a lot of those pure COVID plays, like they're saying that because they've declined, they don't believe there's a bubble. It's just, it's so funny. I mean, which that's one of those things to me, and I know I'm going on a little bit of a rant and a digression here, but it's just funny. I mean, having been in business for a while and dealing with like a certain kind of people, it's just funny like how um, confidence basically wins over facts. Like confidence and presentation is such like a huge part of just about everything, and the way that people state things or the way that people like try to back things up. I mean, it's just most of the time it's just such bullshit. I mean, it's really really easy to read through like if you're just like a little bit skeptical, but like the confidence with which people speak um, makes them believable to like certain types of audiences, and it's just I just can't stand it. It's
I mean, you could almost say that there are people like that within our community. I won't name names. Anyway. But I mean, it's 100%. Like, I mean, as long as you go into it confident and you kind of act like you know what the fuck you're doing, you could be like, the sky is orange and tomorrow it's going to be pink because of, the atmospheric pressure of blah, 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 blah. Like, you just spout off random shit. It sounds good. Some people might not question you. I mean, hi, like, all right, I'll go with Fauci. Fauci telling everybody that you can contract AIDS and you need to, do all this other craziness in, the 70s. Or how about we go even further back with the Spanish influenza? The doctors being like, yes, we need to bloodlet. That's how we get rid of the Spanish influenza.
Yeah, I think that guy just needs to keep his damn mouth shut. I mean, literally, like every time, like I'll be sitting at work, I'll be doing something, and I like open up my phone to check the markets. The markets take a dump, and then I go on like Walter Bloomberg, and it's like, oh, Fauci said this, and I'm like, who gives a shit? Like this guy, I mean, it's insane. But I mean, yeah, I think he's been driving the markets down more than a lot of others these days.
Well, I mean, okay, as we know, let's dissect this. Let's dissect this on a very interesting scale here. FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty, doubt. We know this term. We've lived this term. We fight this term on a daily basis. Sorry, I totally have hair in my mouth. FUD, right? Who creates more FUD in our economy than Fauci? Oh, the new COVID is going to kill more people. We have to stay inside. We might have to lock down. We might have to do this. While Africa's like, no, it's okay. It's mild. You're okay. Like it's fine. And it's one of these things where he creates so much doubt, because then you have businesses, you have politicians having to step in and say, hey, we have to create these new regulations. We have to do all of this. We have to look into it. We might have to print more money. We have to pass more legislation. We have to get more boosters. We have to spend all this money. No. Like, he is the epitome of all evil when it comes to our economy, because it's like every time he opens his mouth, yeah, our stocks drop. Well, wait, I won't say that. Majority of the stocks drop. The Pfizer, Moderna, any of the vaccine ones, those tend to spike up. Johnson & Johnson. So, I wonder if Fauci's invested into the vaccination companies. Just a thought. I'm just going to throw that one out there. But I don't know. Like,
Yeah, no, Look at this. Yeah, so yeah, no truck nerd in the chat. It says Dr. Fauci, I am science.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, I don't know, that's like a powerful stat. I don't know, man. I had like a reaction to that. I mean, it's fucked up, but I mean, it's like it's true. And I mean, I don't. I think it just goes back to. I mean, we've talked a little bit for the past couple of weeks, like about how the market is just fickle. But I mean, it's broader than that. I mean, I guess people are just fickle. I mean, it just seems like I don't know. I over the past, I can't. It's hard to put a time frame on it, but I mean, month and a half, 2 months. I mean, it. I know it's been going on for a long time, but I just feel like there's been there's been a lot more volatility in the market, but I mean, there's been a lot more just day to day bullshit popping up. Like that. I mean, there's like the headlines are getting more eccentric. Like the news is getting like the shock factor is up, and like everything that goes with it. I mean, it's like a yo-yo on a daily basis. Which not that it wasn't like that before necessarily, but I guess maybe I'm just becoming a little more attuned to it.
Oh no, I mean that I've noticed that, and it's if I remember my psychological studies from college, it is literally a psyop because it's a bombardment of information that is meant to overwhelm you, right? Because I can't remember a time in my life where there's been a bombardment of this much information. We have COVID. I haven't even heard anything about the Maxwell trial. Does anybody have any updates on that? Because I haven't bothered to look because
Well, the only thing I'll say is that I did see something in mainstream. I think it might have been CNBC even or something this morning, but I mean it was about because the apparently the defense witnesses are starting to make statements. So now that the defense is starting to speak, like it's starting to get some coverage. That's interesting, eh?
oh yeah, interesting. Not the people that have been silenced for decades. Man, screw off. Oh shoot. Hold on. I can't hear anything. Okay, we'll see if I can actually hear anything now. Halster, can you say something?
Yep.
Yeah, we go.
Hear me?
Okay. Yeah, actually, so my sister and brother-in-law got me some new headphones for my birthday, that are very interesting. So I'm trying to like use them. They have to be plugged in since I don't have a Bluetooth adapter. Um, anyway, but yeah, the fact that we haven't seen anything about that, like the psyops is real. Hold on, Johnny Rocket says, "Hey K, 1+1 = 6." Yes, 100%. Every time they speak, I make money. I literally watch Spy Dump when they talk. I buy the BS. Hey, I mean, if you know it's gonna work. Johnny Rocket, I definitely made a play yesterday on some of that. Oh, you just typed that. Bought 50% plus some contracts. Yeah. I mean, but
Yeah, no, that was me. That's good old Cliffs. That's good old Cleveland Cliffs. So yeah, yesterday, freaking Nucor came out and they revised their guidance downwards. Which I mean, they're still expecting all-time profits, but I mean, all the steel stocks took a dump because Nucor revised their earnings estimates, and so Cliffs started getting down into that 19, high 18 range. And so, I mean, I remember talking about it a little bit, I think, on here before. I mean, the last time this happened, I doubled down and bought a couple contracts, which I sold the contracts, but I still have the shares. Did the same thing again, just whatever. Like I didn't double down again, but I just bought 100 more shares and bought a few more contracts.
Johnny Rocket.
Yeah, let's go, Johnny. Buy the beans.
Buy the beans. Thank you for the $100 super
What does that
chat.
mean? Elaborate. What is?
Buy the beans. You gotta tell me what that means. The beans. We have to make the quotes. Sorry, and I'm totally like over here eating like peppermint kisses. That's what you guys see me munching on.
So you were telling me about this. I I
You never
never
found them?
did that. You had given me a no, you'd given me an assignment to like go find a specific type of Hershey's Kisses that I haven't had before, but I've since forgotten.
Yeah, I'll
I
send
didn't
you.
go buy them.
I will send you the name of them. All right, Astastic, what's going on?
Um, just speaking about the psyops and you guys speaking about mainstream media and all this stuff, and what opened my eyes up ever since I have kids, I've been watching Coco Melon and Baby Shark for the last 5 years and opened my eyes. And I made more money than I ever did. I never opened up being having mainstream media, TV or CNBC or any of that in mind, and just doing due diligence. Just everything they see on that TV, it's all bullshit. Just use your instincts, use your due diligence, use your research. You'll be great.
100%. And I totally feel you on the Coco Melon Baby Shark thing. My 2.5-year-old is obsessed with Coco Melon and Baby Shark, and oh, it's
Yeah, imagine 4 years of that. That
no.
shit opened my eyes.
That is what we're going to be eating during the Great Depression. No, we are 100%. Actually, this is going to be your guys' homework. Is go to the store. I don't care if it's Costco, Sam's, Walmart, Target. I don't care where you go. Publix. Go look at the bean aisle. Go look at the rice aisle. I know in ours, here in Florida, it keeps getting wiped out. Like, I am like, okay, somebody's listening or people are actually thinking. But water, beans, rice, ramen, all of the staples. Like, I'm curious out in Hawaii if the spam's all gone, because that's usually what happens whenever they have to go and buy stuff. Um, it's interesting. But yes, beans. I figured that's what you were talking about, but I just wanted to make sure. Or start growing your own beans. It's an idea too. Can't stop. Do the opposite of Kramer and you'll win 98.9% of the time. True. It's true. We've been tracking that all year. But Astastic, yes. The best thing you can do, I mean, is just turn the TV off. Just turn it off and think. Like, this is the best thing you can do. I mean, that's why, like, they say, like, don't have a TV in your room, read a book. Read a book. Read a book. It gets the critical thinking, right? And no, I am not. I'm guilty of having a TV, but to be fair, Hambo and I will watch like 30 minutes of TV before we pass out, and that's lights out forever. Like, we will sit at our computers and we're researching market stuff or global stuff or economics or whatever until we're both basically slumped over in our chairs and one of us is like, hey, wake up. We gotta go to bed. So, yeah. And now that
It's
Hal...
like, yeah, sorry. I was just like, so I was thinking about kind of what he said, and it's one of those things. I mean, with yeah, like some of the shows that kids are watching. I mean, with all the media, like the iPads and the this and that. I mean, in terms of, I mean, I think you're spot on in terms of yeah, doing your own thinking, doing your own DD, trusting your own intuition. But it's one of those like, how does one's intuition get developed? I mean, I think if a lot of us, like when we think back to like when we were young, like we probably had some decent coaching like along the way in terms of, developing things. And I mean, I don't know, people are, people in general are just, it can be incredible, resilient, all of that in terms of like just developing intuition and a sense of how things are going on. But I just wonder, like, with that kind of, for lack of a better word, programming from an early age, like, I don't know, like, is that something that could be lost in future generations when we take 20, 25 years from now? Are people going to have that same kind of sense of intuition and self research and stuff like that, or are some of those like behaviors and feelings and all that kind of thing, are those going to be lost?
Or they'll probably be lost because they really don't teach, critical thinking. They replaced it with bullshit in schools. And I think that's where, I hate to say it, but I think the millennials had the last good education, because after that it was the competition, the completion trophies and all this stupid, oh, it's okay if you didn't complete your assignment, you get a passing grade no matter what. There is no more critical thinking. And I actually see this while Hambone's been taking some college classes. There's no critical thought. There's no actual thought process into the discussion boards that he was seeing. And he was like, how am I supposed to reply to these people? He's like, I know they're kids and they have no life experiences. But at the same time, at 18, 19, 20 years old, you should still have at least an opinion on how the world works. They don't. And that's because they're not getting taught that. And I keep seeing this thing about how finance, like budgeting and things like that, economics, aren't taught in school. When did that become a thing? When did we stop teaching kids the importance of financial stability, financial literacy, and economics and how it works? Because I can tell you, I took classes, I had it all through school, how to balance a checkbook, how to manage bills, how to, pay for this, and how the banking system worked, and how to set up all these IRAs and CDs and the economics. I had to take economics to graduate high school. And that was, I got a core 40, so not quite the, not a general by any means, but even for a general, you had to have economics and government.
See, I don't know. That's interesting though, because I don't remember a lot of that. Even so, we talked a little bit the other night when we were hanging out, right? I told you a little bit about how my financial literacy and how I focused on it. On a relatively young age, but I did have to take an economics class, but it was taught by the basketball coach, and it was. It was an interesting take on economics. Let me tell you that.
Oh man, that's such a weird thing. I had coaches teaching my classes too, but not economics. Mr. Ball, man, if I could ever go back and or if I could find him on Twitter or something, the best government and econ teacher you could ever have. He was just, here are the facts, this is life, and it's about to kick your ass. It was literally my senior year was probably the only year I paid attention to all my teachers. I hated school. I don't know why. But I aced his class. I aced government and econ, while most of my peers were C's and D's because they couldn't grasp it. I'm sitting there studying it hard. I should have known what I was going to be interested in. But he walked it through this, if you start saving now, by the time you're retired, blah, 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 and he even took into account inflation and deflation and all this other crap. He walked it through, and which stocks to get into and how to do all this other stuff. And sadly enough, cryptocurrency wasn't, it was literally coming out while I was a senior in high school. So we didn't really get to talk about it. But I would love to hear his take on what's going on right now, because he was just such a brilliant mind. I'm sorry. That's my shout out to that teacher.
No, it's good. I was thinking the same thing. Teachers are awesome, and it's one of those things. They're underpaid. I can think back and amazing teachers that would be, it'd be good to get in touch with them again. I don't know. I know some people do that. They're probably more outgoing than I am or whatever. But I know people that do keep up with their teachers and stuff like that. I don't know. I want to shout out Miss Murray, right? She was an English teacher. She was really, really good. She was tough. Not a lot of people liked her maybe at the time or whatever. But she was a really, really good teacher. Made me turn in my research paper on the last day of school, so that I would pass the class, even though she knew that I easily could have, and I probably should have gotten an A, but I just didn't want to work for it. And I don't know. Teachers are teachers are incredible. Gosh, I had another point, but off the last part that you said, but I don't know. I had to hit that one.
I'm sure you'll
Sorry,
think
I
of it.
don't mean to interrupt, but I'd like to bring out like just really important point, and I'm not here to bash teachers or anything like this.
No, go for it. We like
Teach,
all sides.
teachers, no, teachers and education, it is important, and just want to point out, you brought up a point of the intuition and critical thinking and all that stuff. I learned all that from my parents. I'm born in December '84. You hear what I'm saying? Like, I guess you can consider, I don't know, I'm a millennial or not. I don't know what you guys would consider me. But I learned
Sorry to
all
say,
that
but
stuff from my
you're a
parents.
millennial. I'm sorry to say
Yeah. No,
it.
I'm like, I don't know. People say you're borderline, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Point
yeah,
is,
I'm with you. I'm not too far apart. People call
yeah,
me a millennial. I don't relate, but I guess
but,
that's what we are. Go for it
but
though.
like all that critical thinking and questioning and all that stuff, I learned all that from my parents. Actually, my father mostly, but some people are unfortunate enough not to have, father or, mother together. I have both. I'm fortunate enough. But I started my education. I mean, graduated medical science, went to the medical field and all that stuff. And all I had to do was just memorize. Didn't teach me of critical thinking or anything like that. All I had to do was memorize, and I went into a completely different field and questioning, questioning, and questioning to change my field, which my parents have taught me to. And they immigrated from a different country, came here, speaking another language. So, I mean, teachers are important. Yes, they are very few unique teachers. So I'm not putting them down. But however, what you guys are doing, your critical thinking, just remember, you got to pass that down to your children. That's all I'm saying. Just
Yeah, no,
don't rely
absolutely.
on education alone. That's all. I
Yeah,
won't.
no, absolutely, and no, it's a great point. I mean, and well, that's the thing. I mean, I don't. There's probably some people that aren't, fortunate enough to have great teachers, and yeah, I mean, a lot of that. I mean, I definitely did get from my parents. To your point. I mean, that is kind of where it starts. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a psychology expert or anything, but I mean, they talk about formative years and um, things like that. I mean, I mean, there's teachers that deserve credit and there's teachers that don't. I mean, just you know, just like anything.
Question
But yeah,
everything.
I
That's
mean,
all I'm
I
saying.
well, no,
Question.
absolutely. I mean, we're
And
we're
I
we
teach my
are all
kids that.
about that here.
I tell them, question. She's even 4 years old. Tell her, why do you ask your teacher, why am I supposed to wear a mask in class and I don't have to wear it in ShopRite? I tell my 4 year old to ask her teacher that. So don't be scared. Just ask her. Just teach her critical thinking. Literally ask questions. That's always helps.
Oh, and that's what happened with my stepdad. His whole thing was question everything. Like it backfired 9 times out of 10 on him, but question everything. And if you can't find the answer, keep looking, keep looking. But at the same time, I had some great teachers too, and our daughter, 2.5, man, she questions everything right now, everything. No, she's but she's brilliant, and that is what I look forward is to actually being able to teach her and teaching her how to research properly and find answers and find both sides and come to a middle ground and not one, get into an echo chamber or just be biased due to one thing or another. But on the facts of teachers not being paid enough, okay, I'm 100% with you guys. Because, and this is how I figure it, right? Teachers, essentially, if you want to think of it this way, they are babysitting your kids for 8 hours a day, roughly, right? If you look, I mean, and this is putting it very limitedly. It's not accounting for the fact that they are teaching and growing the minds and everything else. We're not even going to put that into perspective here. But this was something I found interesting. It was a little fun project that I did a while back. So we have on average, a babysitter in Florida makes $13.74 an hour. Okay, $13.74 an hour to babysit. The average class size in Florida between 18 and 26, so we'll take it at 23. Okay, and this is, we'll do it for 9 months. I think is roughly a school year. So we have 13.74 times, what did I say, 23? Okay, so that's $316 a day times roughly 5 times, we'll say, let's see, 4 times 9. So it's 56,000. This is just a base value. This is just basic value. So 56,883 roughly, just to watch your kid, is what they roughly should be making in Florida. This is give or take. I think they make anywhere like about roughly 40 or 50. But that's just, again, this doesn't account for the knowledge they bring. This doesn't account for the fact that they have to discipline, they have to keep structure, they have to, they provide basic product, paper and stuff, for the teaching classroom. And I mean, it's not enough. Like, they're basically making what babysitters make. That is insane. Average class size here is 33 at an English class of 39. Okay, so let's do these numbers again. All right, so we have 13.74 times 33 times 5 times 9. There's something wrong with that math. Hold on. 33 times 13.74 times 5 days times 4 weeks times 9. So yeah, 81,615. Based on that, 81,615 just to watch your kid is what they should be making. But no. Call me crazy, and that's with Florida numbers. So I just want to show you guys. No, teachers are not. Oh God, can you imagine babysitting little Johnny Rocket and burn the classroom down? Probably. No, I had classmates like that. But no, like, teachers they're not paid enough. They really aren't. For the crap that they have to deal with. They have to stay on top of technology. They have to, keep advancing, earning credits towards their, education and everything. Like, there's so much that goes into it. Most of the schools want them to do extracurriculars or, waiting for the bus or doing all this other stuff. It's not enough, in my opinion. But who am I? I'm just me. It's pretty sad. Halster, Astastic, anybody? Do you guys have anything for the rest?
No, yeah, I mean, funding for the teachers, may impact the students. And that's why, again, we as parents sometimes have to step up. And I wish they do. I mean, parents that didn't have to step up if the teachers are funded, enough. I do agree. And that does make sense. Funding the teachers more would put, less of a burden on the parents, which they have to work and provide for their family as well. It does make sense that they need more funding.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I mean, and this is where it gets really tricky because like where I live in Florida, we can actually pick and choose where our kids go. And so I'm trying to figure out, she's 2.5. So things change very quickly, in school districts for the most part. But right now we're still looking at schools. We're trying to figure out which school district to actually be closer to. Because, I mean, yeah, I could send her to a school that's an hour away, but do I really want to take her every morning for an hour drive? So that's kind of what we're starting to consider and whatnot. But, I mean, it's just, there's just craziness with the school districts. And then you have I don't want to get too far into this one, but the fact that parents raising concerns at board meetings and things are now domestic terrorists. Like, I'm sorry, that we have bigger fish to fry than parents getting pissed off at board meetings. Can we agree on that? Like,
Yeah, that pushed me because especially being in New York, it's a lot more strict, and that pushed me over the edge. Hearing stuff like that. That's why my disdain and trust with the teachers has dropped during education, public education.
oh yeah, I've looked at the local school district's finances. There's a reason we are not staying in this school district. Um, and that's what, I mean, it's just very interesting. And that's what, I mean, we're looking at private schools. We are looking at private schools because I can actually see exactly where that money goes. Um, it's a toss up anymore. It really is. But and I think that's what's sad is because I went to a public school, but it was, as you guys can hear, it was a freaking amazing public school, and we really focused on the arts. We focused on drawing and artistic design and music and just different things like that. And funny enough, our sports teams they were but this is where I get to laugh because I sit here and talk to Curtis and everybody about, I was in marching band, and our marching band actually paid for our turf field. So we'd actually kick the football team off the turf field because we needed to practice, and they'd throw these big fits, and they're like, no, they bought it. Don't worry. They can do this. So no, you do have to look into whatever school your kids are going to, but the board thing, that just threw me for a loop. I was like, wait, I could be labeled a domestic terrorist because I don't agree with what the school board's doing? You realize I don't agree with what most of the country's doing, so F me right now. I don't know, guys. But, that's all I kind of have for the day, actually. Like I said, tomorrow we might stream it. I haven't decided yet, but tomorrow is Friday. So we have game night, community night, Jackbox, Tower Unite, anything that you guys want to do. I might actually what we're going to do, I'm going to do, since I've missed a few days this week, we'll have a regular podcast at the end. You guys are more than welcome to come join us in the Discord tomorrow night. Just hang out, game, whatever you want to do. And just have a good time. Jackbox has been really fun. We get some silly answers and whatnot's going. So, other than that, Halster, Astastic, Curtis, anyone have any final thoughts for the night?
What are you gonna let me stream games tomorrow?
Do you want to stream games tomorrow?
I don't know. We'll see. Different games. I don't know. Yeah, I may come hang out. The Jackbox stuff sounds fun. I mean, always is. Like a little chill night at Discord. I could stream some other games. That'd be interesting.
Heck yes. Heck yes. We're doing it. All right. All right, guys. Oh, Curtis is coming up. Curtis. What's going on, Curtis?
Hey, how's it going, people? I was just wondering, Kenna, have you ever looked at a Genesis private school? It's off of Orchid Lake Road, pretty much.
I saw it. I'll tell you the two that I'm looking at when we go fishing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I used to be a basketball coach there.
Oh, were you? Yeah, Genesis. There's one down towards Town and Country and one in St. Pete I'm looking at.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's all I had.
Oh, okay. And I did tell everybody that you'll probably be away for a while, so it was a surprise that you came in.
I will when I can.
Okay. That sounds good. I look forward to it. All right, guys. Good night. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Night, everyone.